Hello and welcome back to Assorted Beefs, where I talk about anything I want to that doesn't fit into niche tea for any particular reason. A million things are happening at once for niche tea, and I need to film all of them. I was going to last night, but then family shit happened. I'm behind, but I'll get on it. Until then, I'm going to talk about a different situation that isn't deep enough to be in niche tea, though it is niche. So I'm talking about it here because it's funny. Here's your George tax to get you through to the end of the week. We're talking about the My Hero Academia tattoo situation. So, a creator named Leah, who is a tattoo artist, who is also here on TikTok, I'll tag her platform below, posted a video like a day or two ago about a particular person who she's had a bad interaction with, it looks like. This person, according to Leah, sent her an email request for a specific tattoo, which was based on some anime fan art. Leah had apparently not responded to this person's email request, which was her way of rejecting it. I don't know how common that is. And I'm not sure how long it had been since this person sent Leah the email, but it had apparently been long enough that the person realized that Leah wasn't going to do it. Because then, according to Leah, this person allegedly went looking for some place to leave like a negative review for, quote unquote, like lack of professionalism and being tacky for not responding. But Leah claims that she doesn't really have a place where somebody could leave that type of review online. So this person then ended up finding, I believe, one of Leah's coworkers and left this massive review. I don't know if it was targeted at the coworker or at Leah, but it was under the coworker's profile. Even if this customer was writing like this is about Leah in the text, we don't know what the text says, like you're still hurting the other person who's completely uninvolved in this. So Leah saw this and was like, what the fuck? Leah goes back to the email from the customer that had the initial request in it, right? Inside that email is a picture of the fan art that they wanted to have tattooed on them. The fan art is for an anime called My Hero Academia, but it is also specifically in some way related to a fan fiction that this customer wrote. So the customer watched My Hero Academia, the anime, wrote a fan fiction about it. Someone else read that fan fiction. Someone else liked that fan fiction so much that they made fan art of My Hero Academia, but in the universe of that fan fiction or somehow related to that fan fiction, and gave it to that customer. The customer then said, oh, cool, I want to have this tattooed on me, and then sent it to Leah and said, hey, would you tattoo this on me? Leah did a quick reverse Google image search on the fan art, found the fanfic on AO3. And apparently it's a pretty popular fanfic. She did not say which one it was. So like, congrats, girl, that's cool. But because she was able to find the fanfic, she was also able to find her AO3 handle. And something that I think people don't realize about AO3 is that if someone knows your handle, they can see your bookmarks. Bookmarks are public. And it turns out that this prospective customer had some wild fucking bookmarks. For those not familiar with AO3, it stands for Archive of Our Own. It is a fan fiction website where you can host and archive your fan fiction. There is no or virtually no content moderation. You can pretty much post anything. It just, ideally for the most part, should be tagged properly for any warnings about the type of content it has in it. So Leah looked at the fan fiction that this person had bookmarked. And apparently it was raunchy. Like real raunchy. Like the tags involved were aggressive, which on its own, okay, let's not kink shame, it's fine. However, this person is a huge anime fan. And while Leah didn't go into detail, the thing about anime is that a huge percentage of main characters are underage. And apparently some of the main pairings in those very intensely tagged fanfics that she had bookmarked were underage. And Leo further claims that she knows that the person asking for this prospective customer, is a woman at or around 30. Now, there's not a ton of back and forth, like I said, that's why I put this here and not a niche tea, but there were a few follow-up. Leah posted a second video as a follow-up to answer questions she claimed she was getting a lot of comments about. Main being, why didn't you want to do the tattoo? Which she says flat out, but I'm going to reiterate, that doesn't matter. She doesn't have to. But she did say that she didn't like the art style, didn't feel like she'd have the freedom needed to be able to change it because it was fan art and there were specific aspects that this person wanted to keep the same. She didn't think she'd be able to do it well, and she got kind of an indication that this person was going to hardball her on price, and it was going to be a difficult appointment that she didn't want to take. All of that is completely fine, and even if I'm the nicest person on the planet, if I'm getting a tattoo done and that person doesn't think they can do it well or does not want to do that tattoo, I will find another tattoo artist. Not every artist can do everything. I think most people have seen my Fibonacci tattoo on this arm, but I think a lot of people don't see is that I also have a tattoo of Garnet from Steven Universe on this arm. I know, leave me alone. And the artist who I had do this one told me she wouldn't be able to do this one. I didn't realize how hard the Fibonacci one is because of how thin and precise those lines are. And that guy just kind of was like, yeah, give me a second. And then he did it. If I had gone to her with that, she would have said no. Like, it's it's fine. People were allegedly also telling Leah that it is unprofessional of her to not respond instead of to officially say, hey, this isn't something I'm going to take on, which I understand and can agree with. Leah mentioned in her follow-up video that she gets consistently bad responses from people when she gives rejections, and that's what makes her really hesitant to like send rejections back versus just kind of ghosting them. And she didn't say this necessarily outright, but I get the impression that people who specifically ask for anime-related tattoos are more volatile by nature, at least anecdotally in her experience. I'd be curious to know if other tattoo artists feel this way. I get that as somebody who, by default, my instinct is to be non-confrontational, and I kind of have to work at it to or work myself up into an emotional state to become confrontational. I do think that in a professional capacity, building up that thicker skin could be beneficial for her. I do think that if I was ignored by a tattoo artist, then I wouldn't go back to them for things in the future, versus if I got kind of a kindly worded, hey, I don't think I'm the right person for this. This is the type of stuff I am really good at, or I'd love to do XYZ for you. Then I would keep them in the back of my mind for future stuff. So she could be losing clients doing this. It sounds to me like these are clients she would like to lose in these cases. Ultimately, her decision. The original video has gotten nearly 3 million views, so I do think whoever this customer was has probably seen it, because Leah also did confirm that the review is now down. So at least the other tattoo artist doesn't have to be involved anymore.